Hello, everyone. We are glad to have you here. Today promises to be another exciting segment. Okay, we'll just be hitting the ground running very, very soon.
Welcome to the Beautiful Marriage Garden podcast, where we have real conversations rooted in biblical truth, practical wisdom, and honest experiences. Whether you're single, dating, engaged, or married, this podcast is designed for you. Our mission is to help couples and individuals live God-glorifying lifestyles by equipping them with biblical tools for effective communication and conflict resolution, providing spiritual nourishment for couples to grow in unity and purpose, and offering practical advice and prayer support for singles preparing for marriage. We're your hosts, Dr. Michael and Dr. Mary Agronah, a Christian couple passionate about helping singles and couples build God-glorifying relationships. So grab a seat, open your heart, and let's dive in.
Great. We are happy to have you here today. Today we are streaming from the same computer. Last week we were lucky to have two different computers. We're going to continue the series on healing from past relationship. Last week we began the series. Michael gave a detailed presentation on how we can heal from past relationship, the approaches we can go through. But I just want to give an exposition to this series again. So in this series, we are basically looking at how to deal from the hurt from past relationship. And this series is for people who are actually hurting because they've had a broken relationship, and this is to help them recover and start a new relationship with courage and confidence. We also hope to support individuals who have witnessed abuse in their homes. It could be a parent, a friend, or somebody was living in the neighborhood with them, and because of this abusive past they've experienced, they have very deep emotional scars. They believe that every relationship is like that. So we are here to help people like that to also recover and enter godly relationship with fear and determination. And finally, there are many of us who have friends and loved ones who are also who have gone through relationship in the past that didn't work. So we are here to equip each other so that if we have people like that in our lives, we'll be able to help them also recover. So join the conversation. I will recommend that if you are online with us, just send the link to somebody else you know this will be of benefit to. Follow us on our different platform, and today we will continue with the second series of this episode. Share with someone. So we will be streaming the second series very soon. Michael, are you ready for today?
I am really ready. I'm really ready.
Thank
And
God.
I'm hoping that our audience are ready as well for us. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to be talking to you on what we have prepared today. Okay, so just a second. Let me share my screen in a sec. So bear with me 1 second. Let's share screen. Okay. Can I ask our audience to let us know in the chat if you can see our screen share? Please do let us know so we know we are all on the same page. If you can see our screen share, please send a quick yes in the chat so that we know that we are all on the same page. Any yeses so far?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, PK.
So you
I
can
can
see the screen. Yes. Healing from past relationship.
Okay, just confirming if that's what you can see. The slide, we are sharing our slide, healing from past relationship. I'm hoping that's what you can see. Is that the case?
It's gone now. Okay.
It's gone
so
now.
it's the previous slide.
Okay. Let's check.
Give us a second, please. Technology can always.
No.
Now let's present.
Let's get this sorted in a moment. It looks like it's still processing. We should be up in a second. Okay. Okay, let me get it sorted this way. 1 second. We're having technical issues at the moment, but it should be done shortly. Okay, so please let us know if you can see it now. Can you see it from your end? Can people confirm if they can see our slides? Maybe a yes in the chat will be helpful. All right, no slides at the moment. Okay, how about now? Okay, so can we see that now? Is that a yes?
It's in now.
It's in now. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry for that delay. So we are going to quickly talk about healing from the past. I'll give you a quick breakdown of what we talked about last week. Last week, I started talking about the approaches that you need to take as far as healing from the past is concerned. Now, one of the approach we had said earlier was the blame approach, where somebody who is hurting from the past basically wants to either blame somebody else or blame themselves. And we said that this approach is a problem because, I mentioned that often what happens is that people are blaming others way more than they are blaming themselves. Then we also mentioned that blaming is not the approach to use. The reason being that once you are blaming somebody or blaming yourself, you can never see the way forward. It's never a good idea to find somebody to blame when there's problem. It blinds you from seeing what you can do to come out of the problem. So blaming somebody else means you are passing on responsibility. Blaming yourself means you are just putting yourself down and making yourself feel bad without actually taking responsibility to find solutions for the situation. So we said that either ways, whether you are blaming yourself or blaming someone, is not the way to go. Instead, we mentioned the responsibility approach. What that is basically saying, I agree I messed up, and now what? What can I do to come out? So and we also stress on the fact that if you got yourself hurt in a relationship, be aware that you contributed to it. And I think we don't have to go over that again, but any hurt you're experiencing today from a past relationship or a friend of yours is experiencing, they did contribute to it. In the smallest case, you decided to date the person. So now we are saying that if you decide to take on the role of being responsible, the next thing would be now carving ways towards healing. There are 3 approaches. Number 1, assessment. Assessment basically means we are going to go through a series of questions to help you gain a better perspective of the whole situation that you find yourself in, or the whole situation your friend finds him or herself in. After assessment, we are going to be talking about what are the lessons to pick out now that you have assessed the situation and have a big picture of it. Then the final part is carving out a means for the next step. So what is next step? What's the future direction now that you know the lessons you've learned? So last time, I took you through a series of questions to help you assess yourself. Now we are going to be today I'm going to be sharing with you somebody's assessment based on the questions that we did last time. And then I want us to get into a conversation. What are the issues that has contributed to this person being hurt based on the assessment we have? And then we make it very interactive. In addition to that, I've prepared a Google document that we have these assessment questions with blank sheet that you can take away or give to a friend who is hurting and for them to fill it out. And based on that, do their own assessment. And we will put the email in the chat. You can just email us and we'll send you copies.
Yeah, and before you go on, this is very important discussion. So I believe that if you have any friend who benefits from it, do well to share this video with them so that they can also benefit from what we are sharing with you today.
Okay, great. So please share the link, share this with friends and so on, so that they can also get the best value from it. Now, today, we are going straight to looking into the questions that somebody has taken time to fill in, and then we see how these questions might help us to see the problem that this person has. The first of the question was, how long were you both friends before you started dating? Now, here is the person's response, and that is not working the way we think it should. Can people read our text from the chat? Can people let us know if you can read the text? It looks a little blurry from our end.
Quite faint.
Is this something people can read?
Maybe you can read it out.
Okay. So I see a yes. Okay. So basically, it's saying that the person is asked, how long were you both dating? Were you both friends before you dated? And the person is saying that we were friends for about 6 months before we started dating. During that time, we were in the same Bible study group, and I got to know him mostly in a group setting. We texted occasionally, but didn't have many deep one-on-one conversations. So that's the person's description of how they met. Now, the person goes on to add that in hindsight, I now realize that friendship alone doesn't reveal everything about somebody. You need to have intentional conversations beyond the surface level in order to get to know the person properly. Now, here's the thing. So now let's analyze this response. So this person meets this other guy in a Bible study group. They meet every now and then, the Bible study group. They meet in groups, high, one-on-one. They never got really one-on-one conversations. They would text each other a few times. And then they started dating. Now, you will see that the issue here is that this person didn't quite know the other person that well. They were not deeply good friends to begin with. They didn't know each other that well. And I often say that if you see somebody you're interested in, going to propose is not the way forward. First of all, take time to observe and know the person before you make the decision. You might find out by observing that this person isn't the right person for you. And then you just don't propose and save yourself all the pain and the head that comes from breakups. So you can see that from the beginning, this person doesn't know the person she dated that well. It sounds to me as though this is a lady speaking. And it's not a question about the length of time. She said they met 6 months. But in these 6 months, it's clear that they were not really having deep one-on-one conversations that will reveal who they are to one another before embarking on a dating relationship. So so somebody could have met another person in a month, and in that month they have quality conversations which will now help make an informed decision to proceed. So you can see already there's a loophole in this thing. So this person should be learning that before I say yes to a guy who approaches me, or before I propose to a lady, I need to take time to at least know this person a little more, know their interests, know their past. Through conversation, just find out a little more before you take the next step. Don't take the next step of proposing before you start finding out to know about the person. That can be very, very, very dangerous. And eventually, when you realize this wasn't a good move, then you are now having to think of a way to come out, and it creates a whole lot of problems, which could have been avoided if you did that work early on before deciding whether or not to propose. I hope this is making sense to everybody at this point. And keep your questions coming. We would answer them at the end of this session. So this is the person's response. So all of a sudden you can see that there is something is not right. Let's go to the next response, to the next question. How much time did you invest in praying and seeking God before going into this relationship with this person? So let's see what the person's response is. This person saying, honestly, very little. Can you see that there's a problem? Because you are going to choose somebody who you don't know how the person will turn out in the next 10 years. You have no clue what's going to happen ahead of time. And because you can see in the future, all you see is today. And you need somebody, God, who sees in the future, to look ahead of you and tell you, hey, my daughter or my son, this looks good now, but in 15 years to come, it's a very bad match. So I like the honesty of this person. It says, honestly, very little. I prayed about it once or twice, more like asking God to bless my decision. Here's another loophole you see. Instead of waiting for his direction. So this person is clear that this person already has a plan. And even in the prayer, she's only coming to God, asking God to approve her plans. Like, I've met sister A. Lord, please let me marry her. Oh, don't say no. Come on, God, please. She was the one. And God said, oh, well, are you seeking my direction, or you are just asking me to approve what is already in your heart? And many times when people come to see God about relationship issues, they are already decided what they want, and they are just asking God to stamp what they want. But if you do that approach, you will be misled, because eventually your emotions are already involved, your mind is already involved. So if you ever, your mind will even tell you that, oh, God says yes, look at how good you are feeling, oh, come on, look at how, and you will be misled. So eventually when you hit the wall, you come back and say, but I prayed, but I saw God. But you didn't see God. You prayed, but you had your own agenda. Okay, so
I think the challenge is also with the fact that, especially for women, if they are already interested in the man, or they've had a crush on the person, or even for guys, if they've already had a crush on the person, there is this tendency of, this is what I want, God, so just bless my decision. And it is very wrong. It's like catching a bird, removing the feather, and taking it to God. God, name this bird for me. He's God Almighty. He will definitely name the bird for you. But it's a way more, a lot different if you go to God and say, God, this person has made their intent known to me. Be neutral in that way, that I don't know whether he's the one you want for my life. I'm going to spend a day or a week going on a fast or something. And you know, we pray into exams as though our lives depend on it.
right.
But we don't even pray into a relationship, which is ultimately going to lead to marriage, as though our life depend on it. There's no marriage in heaven, but marriage can either help you go to heaven or take you straight to hell. So it's very important that we dedicate time to pray, not just scratching the prayers on the surface, but be very intentional. Intentional. When people have exams, they do fast, they wait on God just to pass an exam, get a certificate, and go into the real world. But the certificate will do you no good if you marry the wrong partner. Amen.
Oh, that's great. And I need to mention, when you are praying about God's leading for a spouse, don't pray alone. Because if your emotions is involved already, it will cloud you hearing God with clarity. So get somebody involved to pray with. So that way you have a double backing. You can tell if this is really, really, really you feeling that way, or if this is really, really God talking to you. So definitely get other friends and loved ones, matured believers involved with that prayer, so that you can be sure that if it's only you saying yes and every other person praying your team is saying this, God is saying no, then you need to go and re-examine your yes again. I hope that makes sense, because it's always easy to say this is God, whereas it's actually not God. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. So the person, in addition to that, mentions, and here's the issue here. It says, I was emotionally excited and felt that since we both were in church, we both went to church, it was okay to proceed. Looking back, I realized I mistook compatibility for calling and didn't give God room to lead. This is an issue for many, many, many people. And it's happened to us ourselves as well in the past. So please don't make the same mistake that others are making. Now let's talk about the next question. How much time did you spend researching, seeking counsel from others to know this person before begin this relationship? Now, I often cite the example, if you were going to buy a house or a car, you would research what's the engine capacity, what's the fuel size, what's the fuel consumption, how many mileage has this car done. You will find how durable is this car, who was the previous owner. You at least you will research. You wouldn't just take $40,000 and go and give to somebody in exchange for a car that you haven't researched. But car is something you can easily change when it goes wrong. But marriage, you can't change when it goes wrong. Until death do you part. In any case, if you're thinking, oh, if it doesn't work out in marriage, I'll divorce, you are deceiving yourself, because in the Bible's principle is that divorce only happens after death. You can't divorce while your partner is alive, unless on the account of of marital unfaithfulness. And even in that case, it's still tough. You will definitely be having a lot of pain. So here, let's listen to this person's response to this question. I barely did any research. I didn't talk to anyone who had known him for long. I didn't ask my mentors or spiritual leaders for their input. I trusted how I felt instead of looking for accountability. And the person adds, I now understand the value of wisdom from godly counsel and how it could have saved me from some pain. Many people keep their relationship secret because it's their private life. They don't even have at least one counselor who is guiding them. And so when they bump into a wall, they bump into a wall big time, and the head is heavy. And surprisingly, we only get people coming for help when they are now bumping into the wall and they are hurting. It's like we are the remedial solution creators. Please don't allow yourself to be hurt in the first place. Mary, do you have something to add to this?
Yeah, I think one of the things we also have to consider is the fact that nobody gets something good and hide it. So for the fact that you cannot talk about this relationship, it's even a red flag. It's not good. Or if he or she tells you, don't tell anybody that we are dating, you are number 55, or possibly you are a spare tire, or you are never even in the list. It's very, very, it sounds funny, but it's very, very important. If he or she is dating you and nobody around you knows you are in a relationship, sister, brother, you are dating yourself. You are on your own. So it's important. Research, when you are doing research, that is when people get to tell you about this person. But if you don't talk to anybody, you just go on your own. I'm in love. I'm in love. You are in love. Nobody is advising you. You are all knowing, all seeing. You don't stay at where he stays. Like, you are not. And it's even more dangerous if a person is new to a place and starts dating somebody there without seeking counsel. It's important that we seek godly wisdom. That's why you need to have spiritual people and mentors around you. So yes, research is good.
And like Mary rightly said, there are people often, like as people who are seeking to get into marriage. When you start a relationship, you want to keep it private. You don't want people to know. You want to open the news when it's matured and so on. But right from day one, even in before your selection, have somebody more experienced than you who is acting as a second eye for you, which is so important. Have a second eye. It is often said that what an elderly person can see when they are seated, a young person can climb the roof and still not see it. So please, nobody really wants to intrude into your privacy and so on. As far, I believe there must be at least one person in your life who cares so much about you and is not interested in dominating your life, or some of us have entered marriage, we are enjoying, so we want everybody to enjoy. So we only share for people who give us the opportunity to. If people don't want us in, or so people don't, elderly people are like that. If you are not called for, most elderly people will stay quiet and look at you. Even if you're on your way to distraction, they'll keep, once a while they may call you and say, watch this or watch this. Or, and if you say, no, I don't want to watch, you don't intrude yourself into my life, they'll say, okay, when you bump and can say, oh, you bumped, oh, sorry, you hit your head against the wall. Oh, sorry. Please just clean yourself and go. But you see, the Bible says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.
And there is an African proverb that says that what an adult can see sitting down.
Yeah, which
A
we
child
just said.
cannot even see, even when they stand on the tallest Iroko tree. The Iroko tree is a very big tree. So adults speak wisdom. Sometimes they might also share sentiment, we know, but that doesn't mean refuse counsel totally. It's important that you do your research. And as for me, the seeking counsel part that is really big.
Yeah, it is big. It is big. The seeking counsel involves the research. Let me give you an example. You are dating somebody, you don't know the best friend of this person. Nobody close to the person. You've not like asked a little question from anybody close to the person. And somebody may say, oh, that means if you do that, it means you don't trust the person. Well, if you're going to buy car from the dealer, you could as well equally just trust and not ask a question and just hand over your money, right? But you don't do that. It doesn't mean you don't trust the person, but you are gathering information for decision making.
Yeah.
So that's very important. I would mention at this point, I think today's generation misunderstand what counsel is. They interpret counsel as intrusion into privacy. Counsel simply means a more experienced person is helping you to have a great perspective of the situation. And as a result, they are helping you to have a better view of the whole issue so that you can go and make an informed decision. They are not making a decision for you, but they are helping you to have a great perspective of the whole situation so that you can go and make an informed decision. So we always take counsel to mean that, and not somebody choosing or dictating for you. Please keep your questions coming if you have a question particularly on this. I would now move on to the next question, and this person is being asked the question, the other question we are addressing now. Did you feel you had inner peace in your heart before entering or during the relationship? So the person's assessing how come they are hurt. So let's see what the person's response is. No. Even from the start, I felt a bit uneasy. Something always seemed off, but I ignored it. I thought maybe I was just nervous or afraid of commitment. But deep inside, I never had that settled peace. I now know that settled peace I now know comes from God when something is truly right. One of the key ways God leads us is by inner peace. I'll share a story with you. One friend of ours called and said she was dating this gentleman who seemed very good, a Christian, in fact, was a pastor, and everything seemed okay and enjoying. But she said deep in her heart, she felt something wasn't right. She couldn't tell what it was, but she just knew something wasn't right. So our counsel to her was, well, if that's what you feel, don't go ahead with this relationship. Take time out to pray. And then about 3 months later, she calls back only to tell us that this person who is said to be a pastor was already married with children in another country and was just looking for means to get papers and documents. So he was just looking to date this lady so they can marry, and then he gets his paper and snub her. You see, if she had ignored the inner peace and still went on, say, oh, he's a charismatic guy, he's a good guy. Look,
He's a pastor.
He's a pastor, he's laughing, he's romantic, he's caring. Oh, come on. Then you see that after the first or second year of marriage, this same romantic, charismatic, caring, loving guy becomes the devil that breaks her heart with wounds. So please listen to your inner peace. If I were in the shoes of anybody dating and you are not having a peace, I would pause that relationship and go and see God first. And if he said no, he said no. and is a broken relationship is way better than a broken marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now let's move on to the person's response for the next set of questions. Were there any red flags before or during the relationship? Let's see what the person says. Yes. Now the person is going to list for us all the red flags. So let me know what you think about each of these red flags. So I want you to put in the chat, do you think that this person acted prudently after seeing these red flags and still went on for maybe years in this relationship? So let me know your thoughts. The first thing is that the person said he had a temper and would sometimes lash out on very over small things, then later apologize. Let's go to the second list. It looks like this person has a lot to say as far as red flags is concerned. So I'm asking myself, why did you even continue in the first place? And it's not clear at what stage she began to see the red flag, whether it was at the onset or during the latter part of the relationship. Now let's go for the second red flag. Okay, second and third. He was inconsistent in his communication. Loving, sweetie, honey, 1 week, and then distant the next week. The third is he never involved me in his spiritual life. We never prayed together, and he avoided deep conversations. Anytime real conversations come up, he didn't want to be part. Now, quite a lot of red flags. He pressured me into things I wasn't comfortable with and made me feel guilty when I said no.
I think I want to say something to things I'm not comfortable with. I've heard of instances where women have actually said the guys requested for their nude or naked pictures. That is not even a red flag. Is there any color deeper than red?
I think
A black flag.
Yeah, it's a black and red flag mixed together.
Please don't ever feel pressured into. Naturally, you will not want your nude pictures on the internet. So if anybody asks for that, that is a very big red flag. If he's the one who speaks so much in tongues and the church building collapse, he's still not good for you.
That is, and I find that for many people who feel like their time is running out and so on, they might do a whole lot of things to keep somebody. Don't keep anybody. If the person doesn't appreciate you, nothing you do to keep him would be lasting.
Yeah.
Because in the long run in the marriage, you have to going to do a lot of work to keep him.
Yeah.
So the other thing that surprises me about this person is that anytime she says no for those uncomfortable requests, this brother would make her feel guilty. The Bible is clear that guilt is from Satan. So he's the accuser of the brethren. Anybody who wants to thrive on making you feel guilty, you quickly should back up.
Yeah.
You should definitely come out, because that is going to impact your mental health. Is going to make you have a low self-esteem, and eventually you can't fulfill the call of God upon your life. So please definitely run away once that is what you notice. So this another red flag. I caught him lying about spending time with another woman, which he brushed off as just a friend. Oh, really? Just a friend? So you want to check these things as well. You want to check these things as well. So clearly this person had a lot of red flags that she didn't pay attention to. Let's see, 2 more. He refused to introduce me to key people in his life, even after several months. This is another crucial one. Anytime you are in a relationship with somebody who wants you to disconnect from every other person around your life, including family, and who doesn't want you to connect with other people in his life, know that this person is in to enslave you.
And I think it can go for both male and female. We are
Yes.
using he just to be consistent, but it goes for both genders, whether the woman is refusing to introduce you to key people in her life, or the man is refusing to introduce you to key people in his life.
And that is so true. In fact, the worksheet we have prepared for you, we have one that is more tailored towards females, and we have another one tailored towards male. If you email us, we're going to send you both so that you can have both on your hand. And I think we'll put our email in the chat by the end of this session. Now, the last red flag this person saw was that he didn't show any interest in my goals or callings. Conversations were mostly centered around him. Do you really want to spend 50 years with this person who doesn't even care about your goals at the time of dating? Maybe you should think about that again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can we move on? How do people feel? Is this making... Oh, okay, I see love is blind. Yeah. I see love is blind. Okay. Yeah, many people say love is blind. So imagine a blind man going to make a very serious decision about something he cannot see. And so it's if you go with love is blind, for sure, most likely you're going to end up in a bad relationship, right? So yeah, Dion, thanks for sending that in. Yeah, most people say love is blind, but love is not blind. Please use your mind and your heart and let God lead you. Yeah, that's a great one.
And it's very interesting that we have this mindset of love is blind. So even when love is pushing out towards the ditch, it is blind.
Yeah.
When two blind people walk and there's a ditch, what do they do?
Oh,
They all fall in the ditch.
inside.
Yes.
They all fall inside, you see? And in many cases, the one person you are saying love is blind,
The other person
is not to
shine your eyes.
They're using their brains, right?
They have shined their eyes.
They are thinking, they are taking advantage, and you are still walking around saying love is blind. Well, keep blinding yourself, right? So please don't follow love is blind. Open your eyes, open your mind, use your reasoning. Get yourself, let the emotions be behind and lead with your head, lead with your intuition as you pray along, and let the emotion come on alive later when you are certain that this is working out. You are marrying, you set the date, and things are already in place. Then now, yes. I hope this helps. Yeah, Dion, thanks for posting that. That's a very common language, people. Okay, sometimes the love, so let's see. Sometimes the love is so deep we can't get out. But the question that how did the love even become that deep from the onset? Because nobody starts day one deep. No, deep. The love develops over time. So if from day one you start brushing red flags, ignoring them, you are digging yourself into a ditch. So yeah, Papa Kwesi, that's true. Many people have come so far and have ignored danger so much that now they are at the point where they look back and say, should I really turn back, or should I? Or let me take it like that.
and the interesting thing is, Solomon says something: do not awaken love,
yes,
until it's ready.
Until it's ready.
So please, we should also just be cautious not to fall in the love when we are not ready to
do us right. You see, there is a statement: if you wake up one day and you found out that you have dug yourself into a hole, the very first thing to do is to stop digging.
Yeah, you don't continue digging.
Yes, stop digging. That's the very first thing to do. Stop yourself. Stop continuing digging. Then after that, you can think of, how do I come out? Should I scream for somebody to bring a rope and pull me out?
Yeah. How do I get help?
How do I get out of this? So maybe we are talking to you and you know you are in a wrong relationship. Stop digging. Stop digging. Okay? From today, don't go and fuel that love that you know is heading towards nowhere. Pause it. And now begin to seek counsel on how to come out safely definitely there'll be some hurt, but find ways out. Don't say,
Yeah.
oh, I'll manage it. Manage it. You'll be in trouble in the future.
And unfortunately, this mainly happens to us ladies. We get so much invested in relationships that we actually lose track of our own existence. So it's like you are alive because the boy or the guy is alive. So if one day he wakes up and says, I'm no more interested, it's like your whole
Your whole
world
world is
is
crashing, right?
crashing down. And I'm not saying don't be in love, but at this stage, the only seal to your relationship is marriage. Even in marriage, in this our 21st century, marriage is under strong attack. Imagine relationship that has not been sealed. So please, if you see the red flags, don't just say that I will marry and change her or change him. In fact, even my little children, it's difficult
It's hard to
to
change
cause
them.
them to change at what it takes work,
Yeah.
work, work.
Yeah.
And there are things you can change. If you don't like his style of dressing, because the person doesn't know how to dress, you can help them, but you can't change character.
Mm.
You can't change character. Character cannot be changed. So we should be very, very careful of that.
Mm.
There is a comment
So
here.
there's a comment. Jude Hammond is saying, I think most people only recognize these red flags after experiencing breakup or challenging relationship situations. We tend to overlook them when no issues or challenges are present. That is certainly true. That's certainly true. And you see, the easiest way to prevent this is to get a counselor from the beginning, because a counselor doesn't have a stake necessarily into your relationship. He can tell you that, oh, this thing that you are overlooking at this onset, this is the potential damage it's going to cause. So you wouldn't end up overlooking till now you are too deep in, and it's now becoming a big issue, and now you're struggling. So from the word go, at least out of how many people in this world? 7 billion?
Almost 8 billion.
8 billion. There should be at least one person who can be able to coach you for your relationship. If there's no one person, then there's a really big issue.
Then I think you also contribute to the problem if you yourself are not ready to open up to people. And as
Yes.
Jude posted, when we are in love, somebody said love is blind. We are blind. You call her all the time. What are you doing? I'm sleeping. There's no day you call her, I'm in the kitchen cooking, or I'm reading my books, or I'm helping around. Every time. And you are so comfortable because every time you call her, you get a chance to talk for as long as you want. And you are looking forward to have a virtuous, hardworking woman in your house. Please forget. The same way you received it in relationship, the same way you are going to receive it. I'm coming back from home, honey. Is there something for me to? Oh, I'm sleeping. That's how it's going to continue. So please, it's quite unfortunate that we see these things when the breakup happen. But I'm looking for opportunities where we will be very alert in our relationships.
That's really key. And I'll share my own example with you. I dated this lady before I met my lovely sweetie pie over here. And almost every time I visited, she was having exchange of words with her mom or dad. And I don't mean conversational, like hot argument, really bad. I ignored that, think, oh, maybe, and it kept on happening. Until now, I started introducing her to people close to me, and I was hearing that she was fighting them. And I said, hey, come on, we can't continue this way. So the things you ignore, they will become big.
Yeah, there is this quote that says that the snake you abandon in Eden is the dragon you meet in Revelation.
Beyonce's exchange of punches.
In fact, you will be dating a snake but married to a dragon.
Yeah, you see? And those who might know me might find that I'm somebody who maybe I love being around people and communicating. So supposing my wife is a very moody, quarrelsome woman, then it means that she's going to drive away all the people around my life, right? So if they are coming to my wife, So, right? So please don't turn blind eyes.
Yeah.
And a good thing about getting a coach is that they are not blinded. Oh, they are not love is blind. If you are blind, they can see. So they can help you see better. So please get that from the onset. I know people have chosen the wrong coaches and eventually didn't like the experience, but choosing the right coach is also a skill that we'll talk about later on, another skill. But do you want to share something?
Yes, and don't choose somebody who've had only bad relationships
Oh,
as your
come
coach.
on. How could you do that?
In
Yeah.
fact, you will suffer because everything is bad. For example, somebody who have dated probably 15 men and none of it worked out for the person. They have only bad experiences. They will always tell you bad experiences because
Yeah.
all the experiences are bad. So you should be very, very intentional about who you choose. So somebody said for some men and some women, they only met their Jesus Christ, that's their husband, the first point. But others, they were everywhere. They even went into slavery. Pharaoh's wife took them to the dungeon, and they were in the prison. Even the cupbearer and the baker left them in prison until Pharaoh came to rescue them. So maybe that person has not even met Pharaoh yet to rescue them.
Right.
So they are still in the dungeon of bad relationships. Just be careful. If not, the negative energy will affect you.
Definitely. You want somebody with good track record. We'll talk about maybe that. I think that's going to be our next series. Yeah, we would announce that when we are here to have that. So this person is clearly seeing a number of red flags. We don't know at what point, but at this point, she should start addressing them with the person. And if she notices unwillingness to change, she should start coming out. You see, she should call this guy and say, oh, why are you always refusing to introduce me to people around your life? Are you a bad person? What is it? Of course, I'm being blunt, right? But find out. And if he's persistent, say, okay, I appreciate you, but I don't think I can go on this way because I'm relational. I like to know people around you, and I can't. I'm not an island. You see. Okay, so let's go on to the next. Were there any things you noticed which made you feel this relationship wasn't meant for you? So were there any things you noticed? So let's see what this person says. Yes, this person has some things to say again. So here she goes. I constantly felt that I had to prove my worth or earn his attention. Is it worth it? How long would you keep on proving your worth to this person? Right? And that the person is also saying that we didn't share the same values when it came to purity or spiritual growth. Well, then that you should be running away at this point, right?
Yeah. So let me just explain on sharing the same values when it comes to purity. So you have determined that in this relationship we are going to have no sex before marriage because you are a believer. And he says that how can I go to Jericho, Canaan without crossing the Red Sea?
Or
I should
testing
cross
the
the
car
sea,
before
test the
buying.
waters, and see how deep the waters are. Please, you don't have the same value.
Are you a specimen to be tested?
Or you are always talking about I want to understand God's ways for my life. You are always going to Bible studies. Like, if I marry you, are we going to eat church?
You are too
You are too spiritual.
You see, so if you are finding on the disagreeing, particular on this core point, please you should advise yourself.
Yeah.
You should advise yourself. You definitely should advise yourself. You see, a bad marriage is like toothache.
Yeah.
It's like it's you can't describe what it looks like
until you remove it.
Yeah, and so don't even and the issue is that with bad marriage
you can't remove
it. You have to live with it all your life. So again, don't get to that point. At this point, I want to encourage every one of you, if you are getting value, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel or whichever platform you're watching us from. And also share this link with friends. After the whole session to be placed on the recording will be put in the various platforms. Share them with friends. There are people who are hurting who need to hear this. So
Yeah.
share them with friends and be a blessing to others. It's not about us, it's about a heart to help people who are wounded to heal. That's so important. So please be part of this agenda of helping people heal. Now, the other thing the person mentions here is that every disagreement turned into manipulation. He twisted my words or cried to avoid accountability. So and that is both ways.
Yeah.
So some for ladies, for the guy, it might be anytime we had disagreement, she begins to cry and show emotions just to make me feel bad, and then I say it's okay, don't worry, it's okay, and then she repeat it again, and then blah. So this person clearly had every reason to back off, but didn't. So I was beginning to lose sight of who I was. That is a serious one. I compromised so much just to keep peace. That's serious one. The Bible says in Genesis 2:24, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Not same flesh, one flesh. One flesh means we agree we have differences, but we are willing to take these differences and work together to oneness. Same flesh means we are the same. You see, so in marriage, your uniqueness is not lost. But if in a relationship you are losing yourself because you have to compromise all the time, then you can't imagine what you'll be doing in marriage.
You will not exist.
You know exist, right? Or you evaporate.
You will just get lost.
You want to vanish.
You vanish because
yes, you will.
Then you'll be living his or her life. You'll
Yes.
be living his or her dream.
You will have problems.
Yeah.
Please, these things are so crucial. If you know a friend who has been to a bad time, please, at this point, share the link with this person. Even if it's 5 minutes they came to listen to, please be part of somebody's healing process. It's very important. You may not know that healed person will become a pillar, a help for you at some point when you need help. So please share the link on your social media platforms, on your handles. Definitely be part of the healing of a lot of other people in your circles.
And just to add, if you begin to lose sight of who you are in a relationship, you are in a toxic relationship.
That definitely true. That one you don't even have to be thinking twice whether or not to back off. You should immediately be run away. If it's gotten to that point, right? It's because if relationship is making you lose yourself, then marriage will make you disappear.
Evaporate.
No, is it evaporate or disappear?
Evaporate. You'll be like the thin air. You go up into heaven and come down like
heaven.
And come down like rain.
But you the heavens you won't go, and even the down you won't come. You see? All right. So I was emotionally drained all the time and felt isolated from family. Anybody who is forcing to now, you see, the philosophy behind kidnappers, like those extremist group, when they enroll a person, the first point of contact is that they begin to cut you away from all the people you know, so that they can orient you with a different mindset. If you are dating and the person is constantly cutting you away from, if you talk to if you talk to your parent, he's angry. Why are you talking to your, if you call, why are you on the call? Who are you talking to? And they are overly insecure.
And every time they want to check your phone call log to see who you spoke to. They want to read your WhatsApp, Instagram chat.
You don't want to marry what's the name? CID. You are not in a relation with a CID or
a monitoring spirit.
You are not seeking for a monitor, somebody to monitor you. You want a husband or a wife. So please avoid that. You should have your freedom at the same time while dating. Now, I see we are hard pressed with time. We will spend the next 5 minutes, if you may bear with us, and touch on these questions very quickly. what did you also do wrong? Many people will say, oh, me, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh. Many people will say that, but that is not true. Oh, I can see away from my sister Chloe. Chloe, welcome. Great, great. Awesome, awesome. Now, many people say, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, he just broke my heart and left. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, she just broke my heart and left. It's not true. You did something in addition. So let's see what this person, and we've already explained that last week. So if you want clarity on that, please watch the previous episode of this series. So here's the person's response. I ignored God's voice and my own intuition. That's her contribution to her being hurt. Now, the second is that I was emotionally dependent on him. You remember what Mary said earlier, that if this person say, oh, I don't love you again, your whole world come crashing down because you are overly dependent emotionally on him or her and made him an idol.
Or made her an idol.
And please remember that we are only using these examples from a lady who's filled this form, but the form we'll be sharing with you is from, we have one for men and one for women. So we'll give you both. Just send an email to mybeautifulmarriagegarden@gmail.com. mybeautifulmarriagegarden@gmail.com. And if I can ask Dr. Mary to put in the chat for us, that would really be appreciated.
Okay, I will.
So mybeautifulmarriagegarden@gmail.com.
I will do so.
Okay. Oh, I can see Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin. Good to see you. Good to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Dion says, I think we have to hear the side of the guy too. Definitely. Definitely. Sometimes listening to one person can be misleading, right? Unfortunately, we don't have the guy's side. So at this point, we would work with the ladies' view. Yeah. But Dion, you're right. If there were a way to get the guy's side of the story too, it would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. But certainly a guy who has broken up with you is not going to agree to fill out reflection form with you, right? Yeah. So, but if there were a way to do so, that would have even been ideal and awesome to have. I can see Kweku Hilton. Hilton. Oh yeah, Hilton. Hi Hilton. He goes plain tire. No evidence. Right. Okay. So let's move on very, very fast and quickly. We're running out of time. And the person adds on that I lied a few times just to avoid conflict or to make myself look better. Well, if you lied, I mean, you have yourself to blame as well. So I really appreciate this person's honesty because she's being honest about what she did wrong. So you see that by the time she goes through this process, if she's going to a new relationship, she knows what she shouldn't be doing. She knows the things she should be watching out for. She knows the things she shouldn't brush off. She knows the things she should really, really take seriously and so on. But many people don't do this. They get out of one relationship, then they find the next available one and they are in it.
And some people are so lucky.
Yeah, some people, they seem to be having the people coming all the time. Whereas others, when they break one, it goes for many years. Right? So never come out of a broken relationship without you taking time to heal and assess yourself. Because you would end up repeating the same mistakes again and again and again. And you think God doesn't love you, but it's rather your issue. Okay, let's move on. I didn't set clear boundaries and allow things I wasn't truly okay with. So the first time he visited, he touched you at the bum and you were smiling.
The next time he will move to a different place.
Now he will move higher. Or the next time she met you, she kissed you on the lips and you smile. Be careful. Very soon you see what she'll do to you. So set the boundaries. In this relationship, we are not doing this until marriage. Set it right from the word go. If you don't like it, you can go. See?
Yeah.
And I'm proud to I'm grateful and thankful to God. We share this openly anytime we are talking. We never even kissed. in our dating relationship. No. Our very first case
Wedding night.
was our wedding night. So even on the wedding day, we didn't kiss. When they say kiss the bride, I said no. Mary, we said, yeah, why? What is wrong? Come on,
no practice.
What is kiss the bride? Why? Before all these thousands of people. So we didn't, right? Because we had set that boundary for ourselves.
And the person without boundaries, like a city without walls.
Without walls,
anybody
goes.
can go into it and destroy it.
It's really bad. If you are not a person with boundaries or values, you find out that you don't attract honor.
Yeah.
Because anybody can take you lightly and go their way. Okay, let's keep pulling on. I manipulated him emotionally sometimes when I felt ignored. Please, manipulation, and certainly our sisters are very skilled at that, but don't do it. Don't do it. If you manipulate a man and you keep doing it, you have yourself to blame at some point. Men to do that, don't do it. Whoever loves you must love you willfully. Even God wants us to use our will to choose him. God wouldn't manipulate you. So don't be involved in manipulating people that way. Okay, so this was the things the person did wrong in the relationship. I'll drive through this. How did you feel most times during the relationship? So the person says, I felt anxious. I was full of fear. The person says, I was constantly afraid I was going to lose him, or that I won't be enough. I won't be enough. And there were happy moments, but they were very short-lived. Most days I felt uncertain about where we stood. I walked on eggshells, careful not to upset him. Then in the marriage, you can't walk on eggshells because there are no eggshells. You will definitely end up as upsetting him. So then you should be checking some of these things. Now let me take the last couple of questions. And at what point did you realize that the relationship was going to end in less than a month, or to end in less than a month, between what really happened? Okay, so let's I'm just rushing through this so we can finish this series. So the person is saying that it hit me after a fight we had where he completely dismissed my feelings. I realized I was begging to be understood and loved. He told me I was too sensitive and that I made everything about me. Okay, so he didn't believe you. He thought you had lied and deceived him. And then the person adds on that by saying that a few days later, I saw a message on his phone that confirmed that he was emotionally involved with someone else. That was the final straw for me. I knew then that things couldn't go on. So the person is recounting or playing back what actually happened. Now, describe how the relationship ended. So the person saying that I confronted him about the message I found. At first, he denied it. Then eventually admitted he had been talking to someone else. He said he didn't see us lasting and that he didn't feel the same anymore. I was brokenhearted, but I walked away. It wasn't mutual. He let me go without a fight. And that hurt the most. We haven't spoken since. Can you see how
and this is so hurting?
Yeah, this is really, really hurting.
Just like that.
Like that. For this person has dated for 3 years, 4 years. 4 years. So that's 3 years of lifetime wasted. In that 3 years, there may be many great guys that have come, and because of this so-called honey or whatever in their life, they would have backed off. And she would have missed a lot of opportunities. So please choose carefully. So finally, what lessons have you learned? So let's see what the lesson the person's picking up from. Never enter a relationship without a clear word from God and spiritual peace. And that's a good lesson to learn. That's a very, very good one. The person saying that do not ignore red flags or make excuses for someone's consistent harmful behavior. Don't say, oh, he will be okay. It's just misunderstanding. Oh, no. And if that keeps happening, don't be defending it. Okay. Oh, she's not lazy. Oh, she's just tired. Oh, okay. Well, in the marriage, you find out, but you don't want to wait to that point, right? The next lesson is that healthy love doesn't feel like anxiety. It brings clarity, safety, and joy. This is serious lessons from that. Set boundaries early. Don't wait. Set it early, and don't compromise your core values. Don't compromise your core values. You don't want to have sex before marriage. If he doesn't agree, let him go. Let him go. You are not you are a person of value. She wants you to hold and touch her until that she can feel love. If that's the only way she can feel love, let her go. Take time to know somebody in different contexts, not just when they are trying to impress you. Find out how he is when he's angry. Find out. That doesn't mean make him angry, but check from people around. You see, and we talk about research. One day, one of the series will touch on how to do intelligent research. So you ask questions without the person even knowing that you are researching. Then the next thing the person's learning is that your worth is not defined by by how someone treats you or chooses, how someone treats or chooses you. Then the final is that the person saying that God will never lead you into something that requires you to lose your identity or the identity to maintain it. Yes, definitely God will never get you into it. And that is where we ending this today. And so again, we've just given you a specimen of somebody's somebody's solution, somebody's reflection. Please take this, and even if you are here and you're a married person, you can do these reflections as well. So our website is now up, www.beautifulmarriagegarden.com, and it has been posted in the chat. There are a number of resources we are going to be putting there, and we are working on courses for singles and married people along the way as well. So for now, just email us mybeautifulmarriagegarden@gmail.com and just caption it, break down reflection questions, and then we will be sending you both the male version and the female version. At this point, we would stop here. I don't know if there are any burning questions, but once again, we want to really encourage you, subscribe to this channel and all the platforms, but more importantly, just share these core nuggets with people who are hurting and need to be working on healing. We will announce the next series we'll have, but what follows after this series. So this is a whole time where we are doing the series on how to heal from a hurt. Now, we've done part 1, which we did last week. If you were not here, you can get the recording on the YouTube. And we've also done part 2, which is today, walking you through really how to fill the assessment questionnaires. Now, on our next meeting next week, we are going to be just doing an overview of this topic and taking questions. So it should just be questions and addressing questions and addressing questions. So bring all your friends who have questions, let them come and have their questions answered. Then after that, we would be announcing a prayer meeting for singles where we'll be meeting on Zoom. We'll send out the details for you to register. We'll meet on Zoom and pray to God for healing, because it takes God to heal emotions. Wounded emotions are hard to heal. Medicine can't do it like they do for physical healing. So we are going to be spending time praying together for ourselves, for true healing, God to help us to heal. Then we will announce the second series that we'll be having. We'll send out the topic on all our social media handles, on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and all of those platforms. So just follow and you'll be up to speed with that. I hand over to you, Mary.
Thank you all so much for joining us and staying with us, even though we went a few minutes over the hour. And also, if there is a pressing topic on your heart, we usually have midweek uploads. So if there's a pressing topic on your heart that you want us to talk about it, we can have it as a midweek upload, or we can even fix it in our podcast and discuss it live. So just do well to email us at my beautiful marriage garden at gmail.com, or visit our website www.beautifulmarriagegarden.com, and we trust God that we will be a blessing to you, to your family, and to everybody around you.
And speaking of midweek uploads, there is an upload we just released last week, and it's on the topic how the conversations to have when you are dating before you say I do. So if you haven't seen that already, we encourage you to strongly go and take a look at it so that you can having the right conversations, asking the right questions before you enter the marriage, to save you a whole lot of problems in the future.
Okay, one more time. Our names are Dr. Mary and Dr. Michael Agronah. We are a Christian couple who are interested in helping others live God-glorifying lifestyles other than Beautiful Marriage Garden. We also have a signature platform, www.michaelandmaryagrona.com, where we share other things which all fall within the purview of helping others live God-glorifying lifestyle. We are excited to come your way today too. Before we end this stream, we want to say God bless you, God keep you, God's face shine upon you. May the light of God reflect on you and your family this week. We pray that if you are currently dealing with struggles in your relationship, may this podcast be of help to you. And we look forward to coming to your weddings, and we look forward to hearing testimonies of marriages that are as a beautiful marriage garden, well tended, blossoming, growing and glowing. You know, there are some people, they are growing but they are not glowing. So we want your marriage to grow and to glow. May God bless you. May God keep you. Continue supporting us, share our podcast, and we trust God that will be a blessing to you and your family.
Okay, so that is it. Until then, we see you next week at the same time, 11 a.m. EST. Bookmark that in your calendar. Tell friends to be part. Next week is going to be hot, answering real questions, burning questions. So don't miss it. We really wish you the best, and we care for your marriage relationship or your journey into marriage. So definitely invite us when that wedding bell starts ringing. Don't forget. Call me.
We love godly marriages.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a good
rest of the day. See you.